Hi guys, this is video number 3. I'm going to try and speak a bit slower this time. I've been a bit fast. So this one is more about my first session with the osteopath Emmanuel in Saint-Giron, who I think is amazing, by the way, if you want to try him out. I feel like he really knows what he's doing. So I walked in, and for probably a good hour and a half we talked, and he asked me why I was there, what did I want to do, and I brought with me my packet of lithium, and I was like, I want to come off these, thank you very much. And we talked about my past a bit, tiny bit, like bits and bobs, about how physically I'm cold quite often. And I always have been, but I felt it more after being on lithium. I've now got Raynolds, where, you know, the fingers go kind of purple and it's extremely painful, and the same with my toes. So it's just become even more intense. I've told him how I have to drink a lot more lithium and keep hydrated, because it kind of dries me up. Which means I have to go to the loo in the night, which is annoying, which I never used to have to do, but it doesn't really make me more tired or anything. And then when we actually got to the stage of me being on his massage bed, he worked on me energetically. I didn't know what he was going to do. I said, well, when I first got off the bed, I was like, is that normal, what you've just done to me? Because it was completely not what I was expecting. I thought, oh, maybe something bone, muscular, he might do something with me, you know, that kind of physical way. And he did kind of check the level of my hips and feel my feet and my legs, and it just kind of checked me out physically a bit, just to see if I'm straight and all that. And I'm a yoga teacher, so I'm pretty strong, and you know, my respiratory system, my breathing apparatus works pretty well, because he had his hands around kind of this area and told me to breathe in and breathe out, and he'd kind of squeeze, and you know, so you can feel the muscles in that area that help with breathing. But yeah, he worked on me energetically. And what is there to say about that? I'm very open as a person energetically, probably because I have done yoga since I was 13. I'm now 36, so 22-ish years of developing my internal body in a way that means that my energies can flow easily wherever they want to go. Could have been one of the reasons why I kind of had a high, because I did have one of those experiences where I felt the energy come up, and I squeezed my head because it got stuck in my head and it kind of popped out the top of my head. But I was already high before that happened. It was just, I don't know, everything felt really stuck, and something had to move and come out, so out it came, and I felt relieved afterwards. But possibly, I don't know, the process of getting even higher and psychotic may have sped up after that. I don't know, I can't say. I don't have anything to compare it to. Where was I? Back to energy. Yeah, so I've had other sessions where he's worked on me energetically, but that one just kind of blew me away a bit. I wasn't expecting it. And when I came off the bed, I stood there and I was like, oh my God. Where am I? Am I still Joanna? Can I stand up? I didn't really know. What I felt like was both sides of me were much more equal, equanimous on both sides. It's like I had much more of a centre running down in the middle. Like I didn't feel like I was using my body more on one side than the other, which felt really weird, but nice. And it was just like something I would have to get used to, you know. So we walked, he kind of walks with you at the beginning because he's not sure if you're going to fall over, so he kind of stays near. and then you just kind of get used to walking again in that new body that you've been given. So that was just really weird. And so it probably took 4 days to a week to kind of reconfigure my physical body with this new alignment. And the second time round he did something physical to my sacrum, so again I had to be realigned, and that took a good week. And then the third session I had with him was different again. Yeah. So after that session, lots of things happened at home, and I think I'll do another new video on that and go into that in a bit more depth, because the session itself is a bit like the tip of the iceberg. It's the beginning of change, and then when you go home and live your life, it's like the whole rest of it is huge and encompasses your life and changes you dramatically over, instead of just like 2.5 hours time, the whole rest of the 2 weeks in between the next session and what you've just had. So I hope that made sense. Some of you probably don't think about energies or movements inside your body when it comes to energy. But if I'm talking about energy, for me it can be tingling, it can be this feeling of movement, it can be a warmth, it can be a pleasant coolness, it can be all sorts of different sensations within my body in different places. And it's something that I think I've probably always lived with and always experienced. You can probably comment on this, that if you have had, if you've got bipolar or you've had a manic high, or even in depression, I think you feel different physically within you. So if you have depression, like recently I felt quite depressed, everything goes woo, it goes down low, you have no energy, and it's a bit like you're kind of switched off. And then you've got the other side, when you're high, you have so much going on inside, it's difficult to decipher. It's imagine a brain with like lots of things jumping around, and you can't work out that one thought. And it's a bit like that with